All right, friends, I'm on the dirty end of the shop here, meaning this is where all the grinding and the welding and the sandblasting takes place, and the chop saw stuff takes place, and there's the oxyacetylene torch and all that good stuff. Well, recent video, I just made this welding table here, so that's kind of a new thing. But I also want to address a flaw that I have tolerated for the last 30 plus years, probably almost 35 years. I've tolerated this flaw on my vise stand here. And the flaw is this, that here, if you put something long in the vise, it comes down and it hits at the bottom there. That's a little dark there. Could have added a light so you could see it easier, but safe to say that that frustrates me from time to time, and it could be better. So we're going to address that. And of course I want to keep this barrel because the barrel is great. I mean, I love this old oil barrel, 30 gallons. It is plump full of concrete, so it isn't going anywhere. You can crank on the vise, and I mean, I can move it, but it doesn't move easy. And we're going to add even more weight to it because I have in my clutches a piece of, I think that's 3/4 inch, at least 3/4 inch plate, big fat nice plate that's going to go on the top of here. All right, so let's get cracking. Well, she's down on the ground, and look at this here. Look at this ugly, ugly, ugly weld. Anyway, I'm going to grind this top right off of there. We're going to get rid of it and start new. I think that breaks everything free except where bolts went down into concrete. That concrete, friends, has not seen the light of day for some time. I lied. That is a full fat inch right there. Well, right here I'm going to show you a case of too late smart. Look at the bolt hole pattern, how I mounted the vise in here. It's a diamond, right? So there's the front hole right there. What was I thinking? I mean, I know it was 33, 35, whatever it was years ago, but really, I mean, okay, square pattern, and now this is going to be way out and nice beyond the front of this thing. So while we're this far, we might as well take this vise apart and see if we can't make it a little bit better than what it currently is, right? It's that was very loose. That doesn't seem right, does it? Okay. So we got that part of it off. Look at that. It's pooping! It is pooping! It pooped! Ugh. All right. That's what it looks like in there, in case you wanted to know. And that's our little bolt right there. Kind of a shouldery bolty thingy. Okay. And while we're at it here, we've got a little spring up in the front there, okay? A little snap ring there. Okay. Come on. Hello. Snap ring. And a little washer behind there. Dirt off of that. Let's clean that snap ring off a little bit better. And I don't know, what did I just do with my spring? Oh, here it is. And my springs and things. Okay. Now we can pull this guy right out like that. All right, much better. There we go. Well, if it lasted for 30 some years, then let's just say that we would hope it would last for 20, 30 more, right? All right, there, that goes in there like that. And put that forward like that. We'll get Crusty Stanley. Okay. Need a hammer. There we go. All right. So maybe that's tight enough. You would think that they would have made this nut just a little bit more robust on this, but what can I say? It is what it is, and I think the thing was just plain coming loose before, because now it has a minor amount of slop, but really not too bad. And that doesn't get turned very often. All right, so now we just got to put this, in here, like that. I mean, it gets turned so infrequently that putting grease in there doesn't really even, at least doesn't matter to me, put it that way. Okay, so we're gonna put this here, on here. Actually, what would do good is for me to put grease on this nut right here, okay? Because you think about it, if you ever look at torque specs, when you have a bolt that has some sort of a lubricant on it, right? Your torque spec is lower than if you have a bolt that has no lubricant on it. So to my advantage here, when I'm trying to tighten this little thing up, if I have some grease in there, one could sort of make the conclusion that I could get it tighter more easily without having to bang on it with a hammer and bend it if it had some grease in there. I don't know if that's the case or not entirely, but it's my theory anyway. So there it is. It's beautiful. All right, it's the device. And I'm going to take and close it up here a little bit. It feels much tighter now, even though I didn't really do that much to it, other than really that one bolt that was loose. And look at that now. Before, when I loosened it up, it had all this slop in it, which, see the spring, you've got the spring in there, right? Okay, but it's acting the way it should now. There we go. All right, so now we just gotta, and I don't know why I didn't pop the holes in here when I had this off, but that's all right. Well, can you believe that? I thought that this was a 1/2 inch and it must have been 7/16. I'm gonna fix that because I don't have 7/16 bolts just ready for it. All right, so I wanted my vise to be nice and centered with that skelly sign right there. I think we got that knocked out close enough to eyeball. It looks straight. After doing a little bit of tapping back and forth here, I think we've got this knocked out, so it's centered this way and this way. Getting the ridge of there right where it needs to be. And finally, for front and back, I'm actually bringing it this way a little bit. This thing has got so much weight, it's not like it's going to be overbalanced. I'm skewing it toward the front of the barrel, so I got plenty of room underneath here. I'm not going to run into that problem anymore with not having room under the vise for various things. Who knows what's going to go in that vise? I'm happy with the way the rebuild of this barrel vise turned out right here. Happy that we've got a vise now that does not have a restriction straight down below the vise, so I can put a long piece of pipe or whatever in here, and that is fixed up. This plate is heavy, heavy, heavy. It is 1 inch thick, 26 wide, 24 deep, and the barrel is 30 gallons full of concrete. You cannot recreate a beautiful barrel like that has some, you know, kind of antique antiqueness to it, I guess. So I am really happy with the way this turned out, and overall I'm happy with this whole side of the shop here. It looks pretty nice right now. I mean, it's not like, you know, fancy man shop, right? It's ordinary man shop, but it looks pretty decent. And we've got the grinders here, and of course over a little bit there is the air compressor, and now we've got this new vise stand, and we've got the welding table, and I got the welder, and all my odds and ends up here. So, and I've even got some free space out here, so that's exciting to have. Anyway, I do thank you for watching, and I hope that you will, you know, subscribe and like and all that kind of stuff, and comment, because I like to banter back and forth with people that comment. I'm not such a big channel that I can't, you know, respond to comments. So please do so, and we will see you around on the next one.